History does not always speak to the accused. Sometimes it whispers behind closed doors. Sometimes it decides guilt without witnesses. Sometimes it erases a life without ever asking a single question. Elizabeth Báthory was about to discover how quiet justice can be and how deafly the world can listen to a name it already judged. Even the walls whispered her name before anyone dared speak it aloud. Elizabeth moved through the halls of Čachtice Castle with deliberate grace, her long skirts brushing stone floors worn smooth by generations. She had ruled these lands, signed decrees, judged men, and commanded respect. Yet rumor had begun its insidious work. Quiet, invisible, unstoppable. Servants glanced down, doors closed too gently. Whispers lingered in corridors like smoke. She felt it. Though no one spoke her name aloud, she was being watched, judged from afar, by eyes that would never meet hers. Even the king's court, distant but aware, had begun to murmur. Powerful women, unrestrained, must be contained. The hand that executes can wear a glove of courtesy. Word came quietly. The king had sent a representative. Not soldiers first, but a palatine, Count Gheorghe Thurzo, accompanied by clerks and lesser nobles, men loyal to the king's crown, not to mercy or truth. They arrived at twilight. Thurzo, calm and measured, stepped into the great hall, his cloak heavy with authority, his eyes cold, calculating, his words courteous yet unyielding. Beside him, the clerks and nobles were selected not for courage, but obedience. Behind them, guards waited, silent, motionless, deliberately forgettable. No weapons were drawn. Weapons would have admitted hostility. She was to be judged without trial, confronted without accusation. Thurzo spoke carefully. "My lady, we have come under the king's concern, for your protection." Protection. A polite word, hiding chains of stone and silence. Elizabeth's eyes, sharp as her mind, studied them all. She recognized the posture of men who carried decisions already made, and she asked one question, steady and clear. "Where's my trial?" No answer, only the faint echo of candlelight on cold stone. The king's messenger bowed, the guards shifted, and a silent decree was made. Her fate was decided. She would never stand in court. The night carried men who moved like shadows, but with deadly intent. When the soldiers arrived, it was not with clanging chains or war cries. It was quiet, precise, disciplined. 2 guards approached the doors. A herald of authority announced the king's order. Elizabeth remained standing, observing, calm yet aware of the inevitability. No resistance was possible. No words could change the weight of royal decree. They led her through corridors lined with torches, shadows stretching and twisting along walls she had ruled for decades. Every echo was a question she could not answer. Had she committed monstrous crimes, or had the world merely decided to fear her power? Her punishment was not death, it was erasure. She was sealed in rooms she once commanded. Stone replaced law. Silence replaced judgment. Days blurred into nights measured by candle wax. Time itself seemed to bend around the emptiness. She revisited every memory, every command, every mercy, every punishment. Were there crimes or stories sharpened by fear and ambition? Letters went unanswered. Prayers dissolved into echo. Sometimes she laughed quietly at the absurdity. Sometimes she pressed hands to the walls as if stone could testify. It never did. Even the throne trembled in her absence. The queen and court remained distant yet restless. Some feared Elizabeth's legend. Some envied her lands. Some whispered privately, "She was powerful, too powerful for her sex, for her time." The monarchy did not intervene publicly. Justice had been administered in shadow, leaving history the job of shaping her guilt. Every rumor, every myth, every exaggeration was a brick in the walls that confined her long after her body could walk freely. Time measures the imprisoned differently than the free. Elizabeth lived in silence for years. Her voice never carried beyond stone walls. Food arrived quietly. Messages remained unanswered. Her mind became a palace of memory. Every kindness she gave, every cruelty she inflicted, every political maneuver. Sometimes she dreamed of freedom, sometimes she dreamed of fire. Her life became a slow echo of the woman she once was. She died confined, not executed. No verdict was ever publicly read. No trial ever took place. Centuries passed. The castle remains. The walls remember. They call her monster. They call her witch. They call her legend. But beneath myth and horror, the question endures. Was she guilty? Or was she punished for being powerful in a world that feared her? Somewhere between rumor and history, the truth still lingers. Quiet, unresolved, eternal. Perhaps she was guilty, perhaps she was not. But history chose something far more dangerous: certainty without judgment. And so the question remains, not about Elizabeth Báthory, but about us. When fear demands silence and power offers peace, do we still ask for truth